Okay. Hi, this is Ice with the Three. Currently, it is December the 1st, 2025. Okay, so I guess I want to expound on the video I made yesterday on November the 30th. Basically, I was saying that pretty much Donald Trump and we have, well, Donald Trump has Rahu inside of the 10th house, and I have Rahu inside of the 4th house. And that means that Donald Trump, he is forced to be basically successful. So all the way back when he had those bankruptcies, I believe what in 1990 or whatever. I think he did an interview with I think Ellen DeGeneres. He said that it was a point in time where he was minus $900 million inside of debt, and he walked by a beggar or something like that. Well, he walked by I guess a homeless person or whatever, and he told this his I guess he said inside of this situation it was a beautiful woman that he said, you see that person right there? He said that they're worth more than me. And the woman, she said they're not worth $900 million. He said, well, even if they were worth zero, he said that they would be worth literally more than what I'm worth right now. And so he said there was a low point inside of his life, and I think that was like around the 1990s or whatever. And so, being that Donald Trump was Donald Trump, his name, it carried something. And so I guess you could say the banks probably thought that he was just too big to fail. And if he did fail, then they will also fail. So he didn't have a choice but to pull up his bootstraps and just go to the top, which is what he did. He didn't have a choice. And so I looked at not all of the astrology, but there is some astrology inside his chart that's going to hit similarly to that when he had those bankruptcies and stuff like that. So let me pull it up real quick. Let me pause for a second. Let me get myself for a second. So me, on the other hand, I have Rahu inside of the 4th house. It's the exact opposite problem. It's like the more I try to step and be successful or whatever, something just basically gets in my way or just prevents it. And so my best option, it probably would be, is what I'm doing. What I'm trying to do now is do astrology. And I mean, I'm like, this is my worst nightmare. I never expected it to be sitting here looking crazy as hell, making predictions which are coming true for some reason. I mean, well, it's fate. It's fate. So my point, there's gonna come a point in time. I see that Donald Trump, he basically in regards to the legalization of marijuana, he signed a bill that pretty much closed a loophole in regards to the bill that everyone was excited for in regards to the investment side of him. What else? He hasn't done anything about the student debt crisis. He basically said you got to pay it or else. And the economy, I guess he's working on it, but nobody has anything like substantial inside their hands. And so Donald Trump, he's focused on mostly immigration. That's great, fine, and dandy, but nobody gives a about. Some people do, but that's 1/10 of the issues that this country is going through. And like I said, transiting Pluto has entered Aquarius, and in regards to Donald Trump, his life being spared, in regards to the assassination attempt on his life on, I believe, July the 13th or 14th, 2024. I was looking at the astrology and I was like, oh my goodness, there was a reason why Donald Trump was spared. It was because transiting Pluto was going to enter Aquarius. That was just a prelude to what's going to happen next. All these everything since 2001 was a prelude to what's going to happen in the future regarding just Pluto on the side of Aquarius. And it's going to be inside of Aquarius. It's going to finally enter Aquarius. Pluto. Wait, no. Pluto entered Aquarius, I believe, on the same day that Donald Trump he won the 2024 election. Transiting Uranus and the United States Uranus return. It's going to enter Gemini, and the United States is going to have its Uranus return. And pretty much that coincides with civil wars in regards to the United States, or civil conflict. That is another reason why basically I think Donald Trump was spared. I think that these people who are in control, the politicians or whatever, they thought that we can take him out just like we took out JFK. fate, their time is up. When Pluto left Capricorn and it destroyed it messed up all the structures that were, and it entered Aquarius. And then here we are again with the United States having this Uranus return. I'm repeating myself, but let me get to the astrology. So let me pause for a second. But my overall point in regards to Donald Trump, he's going to be put inside of survival mode, just like he was put inside of survival mode when he had those bankruptcies inside of what let me pause for a second. 1990, but let me pause for a second. Okay, so the astrology. So on August 19th, 2026, the transiting nodes will conjoin Donald Trump's natal ascendant, and this coincides with a lot of events that had to put Donald Trump out of survival mode. So this happened before on January 9th, 2008, and that was when the financial crisis happened inside the United States. Donald Trump, he's a real estate tycoon, so the 2008 recession, it really affected him, even though he said that he predicted it and he maybe gained some money from it. I think I got it written here that he had to sue Deutsche Bank and Fortress Investment Group, and he sued him because he said it was a force of nature or act of God, and it entitled him extra time in regards to just trying to get some relief in regards to the crisis. But whatever, that's reportedly or whatever. That's from AI, and I'm doing this live, so I'm just reading off the cuff here. So I'm sorry about that. But let's see here. It also happened on May 28th, 1989, where the transiting K2 conjoined Donald Trump's natal ascendant, and pretty much that's when he had the bankruptcies. And I think that this is around the time that he had said that he was walking and he saw a beggar, and his net worth was negative $900 million. And let's see here. It happened again on October 18th, 1970. And this is when, apparently, I didn't even know about this. There was a racial discrimination lawsuit filed against Donald Trump and his father. They basically said that he was discriminating against black people in regards to having black tenants inside of his building or whatever. So that could have been a significant event, and I think it was settled without any admission of guilt. But when you bring up black people and racial discrimination, I'm thinking about Danny Williams Clinton. Apparently, Bill Clinton's alleged black alleged love child, and that would also make Danny Williams Clinton's mother the quote-unquote first Jennifer Flowers and quote-unquote first Monica Lewinsky. So imagine Bill Clinton having a black love child, and the Democrats hiding that for, well, Danny Williams was born on, was it December 7th, 1985? And it's 2025 right now, so it's like, what, 40 years? A 40-year secret hidden by the Democrats? Well, reportedly or allegedly, if that came out. So if you want to bring up race. Anyway, the skeletons these people have. A Lifetime movie, be damned. Anyway, so that was October 18th, 1970, and it happened again on March 8th, 1952. And I don't think there's anything in regards to that for Donald Trump, because I think he was age 6 or 7 around that time. Anyway, so again, the astrology for that is transiting K2 conjoining Donald Trump's natal ascendant, and it coincides with Donald Trump having to go into survival mode and figuring shit out to get back to the top. And so this happens again on August 19th, 2026, and this is right before the results of the 2026 elections. And I told you Donald Trump's not gonna be happy about the midterm elections. So that's what I'm saying right now. You might want to legalize marijuana. You might want to figure the student loan debt crisis out kind of quickly, like right now, because this Epstein situation or whatever, it's not going to end in your favor, or Donald Trump. Because I think I said that on December 26th, Hillary Clinton, she had the same astrology as the submission of the Star Report. And the thing about it is that it's an aspect of Chiron. So that means that Hillary Clinton, she's going to figure some stuff out, but it's not really a bad situation. It's just basically almost like a reminder. And so she's going to get inside of I guess campaign mode or whatever and try to figure out how to smooth this over, which I think they will in the end before the elections. They could probably even say that, Donald Trump, he was with Stormy Daniels, and these people would believe that stuff or whatever. I mean, these people. I mean, I'm thinking about again the Danny Williams Clinton situation, and I'm looking at Jimmy Kimmel, and pretty much this man he wore blackface or whatever, and he said something about Charlie Kirk's assassination or whatever. Anyway, I'm not gonna even try to put no words inside that man's mouth. Anyway, he said something about Charlie Kirk, and he ended up getting his show back because everybody started going crazy about that. Anyway, let me pause for a second. Okay, anyway, so back to Donald Trump and the 2026 election. After this election, he's going to be pissed off because I think looking at progressions, Donald Trump, his progressive moon is going to conjoin his natal Lilith and later on his progressed Lilith. And like I said, this progression, I didn't know what it meant before, but ever since, Donald Trump Jr., he had this progression inside of his chart around the same time that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I guess it means that it makes you want revenge. Something happens that makes you want revenge. And so, and all the while, Donald Trump is having, I think, a Mars return as well, looking at the transits. So it's not a good time for Donald Trump. And you have to think about this too. Donald Trump, he only has like 3 more years inside of office or whatever. No, after the 2026 election, he only has 2 more years inside of office, and pretty much these people tried to kill him. So I'm just something like, nobody gives a shit about immigration because you know what? As soon as another Democrat gets back inside of office, they can just reverse all the stuff that he's done and bring these migrants back to the United States. It doesn't change. It's nothing substantial. Nothing substantial. Legalize marijuana. Get the student debt situation figured out. So, and get the food prices down. And see, the thing that concerns me the most. Did I say the other astrology that comes up with this too? Let me pause for a second. I did say that when transiting Uranus enters Gemini, that coincides with civil wars, right? I did say that Bill and Hillary Clinton are having the same astrology as the monofluency scandal that happened all the way back inside 1998, right? Okay, so there's something else that I wrote down here. So let me pause for a second. Okay, so not only is the United States having its Uranus return, Donald Trump is also having his Uranus return. So that means that something extremely shocking is in store for the United States and for Donald Trump. So let me pause for a second. Okay, I'm going to try to do this live because it's a lot of notes and I'm just, I'm tired. I've been talking about this since, February 13th. But more so in depthly in regards to Bill Clinton since July the 3rd, 2025. So, anyway. So Donald Trump, he's going to have a progressed lunar return. And understand that Donald Trump, he was born under a lunar eclipse. And so this is huge. It's okay, the point. The last time this happened was on September 21st, 1973. And I said this earlier, but this is when the Trump management company, between the years of 1972 and 1974, there were allegations that the Trump management company had discriminated against applicants for apartment rentals on the account of their race or racial discrimination. But there was a huge lawsuit that was filed. Hopefully it's here. So, okay, I got it written right here. I think this is from Politico. In October 1973, the Civil Rights in October 1973, the Civil Rights Division filed a lawsuit against Trump management's company. Donald Trump and his father, Fred Trump, alleging that African Americans and Puerto Ricans were systematically excluded from apartments. Trump and his father responded with a $100 million counter lawsuit, accusing the government of defamation. Donald Trump denied any racial discrimination, but said his managers tried to weed out certain kinds of tenants, which we didn't do, which let me not pause, but what, because it's in quotes. What we did, what we did not do was rent to welfare cases, white or black. Trump wrote in a 1987 book. The Trumps and their company entered into a consent decree settling the litigation in 1975. The agreement contained no admission of guilt of wrongdoing, but required the Trump firm to institute a series of safeguards to make sure apartments were rented without regard to race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. And I think this article was written I think before the 2016 or the results of the 2016 election. So this was probably like a hit piece, but all in all, it happened and the astrology lines up with it. So, and I'm talking about the last time that Donald Trump had a progressed lunar return. You only get 4 of these inside your lifetime if you live that long, and Donald Trump is kind of up in age. Anyway, but again, speaking of race and racial discrimination and stuff like that, I'm still thinking about Danny Williams Clinton. I mean, they said the blood test, it came back inconclusive in regards to Bill Clinton and having a black love child that he neglected. So I'm trying to you can't really weigh the two and just So look into Danny Williams Clinton. Let's see if they can actually definitively prove that Danny Williams Clinton is or is not Bill Clinton's biological child or son. And the astrology to me shows to me that Bill Clinton is the biological father of Danny Williams / Clinton, because around that time, I'll say it again, Bill Clinton, he had his progressed Mars made an aspect to his natal Saturn, and his natal Saturn made a progression to his his progressed Saturn made an aspect to his natal Mars, and this is all aspect his 1st and 10th house. So it means that something infuriatingly blocking happened, or a very, very bad, emotional, infuriating event happened that should have blocked him in regards to his career. But for some reason, apparently he still became the president of the United States and the governor of Arkansas. So you know that Arkansas seceded from the Union back during the Civil War or whatever. I mean, the Civil War, yeah. So, can't make this shit up even if you tried. A lifetime story be damned. Anyway, so that's just the first event in regards to Donald Trump's progressed lunar return. So it happened again on January 9th, 2001. And this is around the time that George W. Bush and the Al Gore election situation happened. And apparently if the votes were counted or whatever back in 2001, Al Gore would have probably won the election. I'm not sure. I don't know the whole. They said it was a scandalous election. I don't know. All I know is that this progression was shown inside of Donald Trump's chart on January 9th, 2001. This is when you certified the election. But I do know that on September 11th, 2001, the Twin Tower situation happened, and yeah. So and this Anyway, so Donald Trump is he's a real estate tycoon. So those buildings collapsing or whatever had some kind of effect on it had to have some kind of effect on Donald Trump's businesses. That's all I'm saying. So let's see here. What I wrote here, what I got here is Bush / Gore election results that led to the Supreme Court deciding to stop the recount of votes in Florida, which would have reportedly made Al Gore the winner instead of George W. Bush, which ultimately allegedly led to the Twin Tower event on September 11th. Trump was in New York as the towers fell. So let's see here. There's only 3 events so far? Oh, okay, there's 4 because you're born with a lunar return. There's one. Okay, so then the next time this hits inside of Donald Trump's chart, the progressive lunar return is going to be on May 9th, 2028. And so, like I said, that from after the 2026 elections, pretty much Donald Trump's going to go into survival mode because he's not going to be happy about the results of the midterm elections. But the Democrats are not going to be happy about the results of the 2028 elections. So I mean, either the Republicans can get a leg up, or maybe an independent. I don't know, but I know that the Democrats should not be happy about the results of the presidential elections in 2028. Anyway, let's see here. I'm not going to talk about that. I already talked about Danny Williams Clinton, and I, I put down here in regards to Bill Clinton checkmate. Oh shit. Let's see here. The Al Gore situation, and so yeah, the Al Gore election. Well, let me pause for a second. Let me get some tissue. Okay, so the Al Gore situation, it makes me think of the 2020 election irregularities. Because I mean, it was like the Supreme Court took up the George W. Bush situation and recount, and it allegedly led to the Twin Tower incident regarding maybe it's possible Democrats. I don't know. It was a Republican that was inside the office at the time, and so being that when 2020 happened, let me pause for a second. The Twin Tower event was a terrorist attack, right, on the United States, right? So if you think about 2020 and that pandemic, you might consider it like a terrorist attack too, right? It's funny how when there's a contentious election or whatever, some weird shit happens, right? Anyway, so all I'm saying is that all the way back in year 2000, there was apparently some election irregularities, and the Supreme Court took up that decision. But except all the way recently in 2020, the Supreme Court was like, "Oh, we're not going to take up this case where." I think like 13 states, they said they wanted to take this to the Supreme Court, and they was like, we're not going to take this up. Maybe they were scared because they was afraid that something that already had came out with the virus or whatever, and maybe there was a threat of like something else worse being released. Or maybe not. Maybe that's like a conspiracy theory. I'm thinking about Resident Evil. Oh, as a matter of fact, kind of find out, Resident Evil 2 came out around the time that the Bill Clinton scandal was breaking too. So let me pause for a second to get the exact date, that because I said Resident Evil 3 came out after the Bill Clinton impeachment, but Resident Evil 2 came out right during the start of the I think it was January 1998, January 20 something, January 21st, I think. Let me pause for a second to get the exact date. So yeah, Resident Evil 2 was actually released on January 21st, 1998, and you know that on January 26th, 1998, I think that's when Bill Clinton claimed that he did not have sexual relations with that woman or Monica Lewinsky. Resident Evil 3 was released on September 22nd, 1999. This is after the impeachment of Bill Clinton. Let's see here. The song "The Boy Is Mine" was released on May 19th, 1998, but the impeachments happened on December 19th, 1998. Let's see here. What else? There's something else. There's a game. Oh yes, the game Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure was released on December 23rd, 1998. And you know the impeachments were going on during this time. They started on December 19th, 1998. And then kind of found out also is that on March 31st, 1999, this is when the Matrix 1 came out. And this is after the impeachment of Bill Clinton. Like I said, the Matrix, all these movies and video games, they distractions or whatever. It's like they came out right after the impeachment of Bill Clinton, and like it was like they were very revolutionary for their time. And so let's see here, and so that's 1999, and it's just 2 years later is when the Twin Tower situation happened. And that was on September 11th, 2001. And this is also right after this very, very, very contentious election with Al Gore and George W. Bush. And then 2 more years later, after 2001, is on May 15, 2003. That's when Matrix Revolutions, or the second Matrix, was released. And on November 5th, 2003, that's when Matrix 2 or Matrix Reloaded was released on May 15, 2003. And the Matrix Revolutions was released on November 5th, 2003. So it's like all these distractions. But anyway, so that's what I'm looking at. I'm like, wow. So it was a revolutionary time, and a lot of new stuff came out. I think that inside of the Matrix they called a feature where they slowed down time and you was dodging bullets and kicking people through walls. It was like bullet time or something like that. It was the first time ever implemented inside of a movie. And then even the Matrix movie itself, it's still better than a lot of these movies that are coming out now. The lore, everything, it's outlasted a lot of the stuff that's coming out. And so, yeah, so let's see here. Let me pause for a second. So I want to get back to Danny Williams Clinton. So I got the lore written down here now. So I said, in regards to these astrological progressions definitively prove to me, personally, in my opinion, that Danny Williams is in fact Bill Clinton's biological son. I said this several times, but anyway, I said around March/April of 1985, Danny Williams' mother was impregnated. And by looking at Bill Clinton's chart, on November 10th, 1985, his progressed Saturn, it made a sextile to his natal Mars. And on November 11th, 1985, his progressed Mars made a square to his natal Saturn. And these progressions last a very, very long time. And so Danny Williams / Clinton, allegedly for now, was born on December 7th, 1985. And I got written here, checkmate, in regards to being an astrologer, in regards to being the god of astrology. Anyway, so what this means is that being that these planets were inside of Bill Clinton's 1st and 10th house, it's emotional depressive fury. And a possible secret, because Mars rules Scorpio, and I think that he has Mars inside of Scorpio or Saturn inside of Scorpio, one of them. But oh, I do have it written here. Okay, so Danny Williams and The Secret Exposed, House 1 and 10. Mars is in Scorpio, and that's the house. That's the sign of sexual secrets. And Saturn and Leo, it's pride plus kingship. And also, Leo is the natural ruler of the 5th house. So it means hobbies, talents, and extracurricular activities. Anyway, yeah. And being that Danny Williams was born around the time that Saturn was making this aspect, and Mars, there's no doubt in my mind. But I think a DNA test will have to prove that. Anyway, so let's see here. Let me pause for a second. So my point is that no matter what Donald Trump does in regards to him thinking that this Clinton situation is gonna just exonerate him, it would temporarily exonerate him probably on December 14th or December 18th, 19th, whatever. However, on January the 14th, 2026, he will get some bad depressive news or something like that. And that's when things like just flip for some reason. I don't know why. Also on February the 17th, there will be an eclipse. And it's going to be exactly opposite his ascendant. And something weird happens. I said that maybe a Democrat could get killed in regards to a distraction. Because I mean, look at the Twin Tower incident. Look at COVID-19. Look at. I would go as far as I'm not going that far. Reportedly, they said that the Clintons have a body count. You can go on Google and you can search that up. I'll go that far and say that much. So, moving on. Anyway, so I can only imagine what they could do what could possibly happen, allegedly, to put a distraction out there, so that the heat could be taken off of them and put on something else, in hopes that maybe one of them can run for election, because that may be one of their dreams or both of their dreams. Anyway, so let's see here. But being that transiting Pluto is going through Aquarius, all hell's breaking loose. This is a humanitarian crisis. I've said this before. This is a humanitarian crisis. Like I said, Zelensky, in my opinion, is a dictator. He needs to hold those elections. Legalize marijuana. It it's what do we call it? Let me pause for a second. It's a natural help for depression. It's a natural help for weight loss. It's a natural it's natural medicine. I'm sorry, for depression, weight loss, um, what is it? ADHD. There's so many things that plant helps with. Also, they say it helps with joint pain and stuff like that too. And so I mean there are a lot of liquor and beer and alcohol companies that are just terrified that it may destroy their legacy businesses. However, looking at the future, that's gonna be the last thing you're gonna have to be worried about. You better hope y'all stuff don't get burnt down, because this is Aquarius. Things are gonna advance with or without you. Pretty much with Pluto, I have a saying. I found a saying in regards to that. It's, oh, but wait, there's more. Like when you think shit it gets so bad, it gets worse. But it's like it's continuous. Like, oh, but wait, there's more. Oh, but wait, there's more. Oh, but wait, and it can be either good or bad. But it's like it's a continuous. It does not stop. And so it's like a either it could destroy you, or it could change you to the point where that you're advanced so far beyond even recognition. Like what I was meditating on. I'm just still recording. Okay, what I was meditating on maybe a month ago. No, when I bought those cards. When I got those cards, I was looking at I was trying to meditate on the suit of cups. And what I saw was that these cell phones, these cell phones, they're not supposed to exist. This is not supposed to exist. I mean, think about it. We're getting receptions from an invisible source. You can't really see, like this is unfathomable. This is unfathomable, or would it be unfathomable years ago? Years ago. And having the technology that we have right now, like this is a screen that I can touch and etc. Like this was an unfathomable years ago. And look at where we are now. So I'm like, heck, we might have telekinesis next. I don't know. But like or flying car, like who knows? We have barely even scratched the surface on what is possible because of these patents and things that are limiting us, so that these rulers or these politicians or these, what do you call it? I'm trying to think of the word. Let me pause for a second. Okay, but these dictators or whatever, these controllers are trying to control us with. And so, like I said, this is a humanitarian crisis. I mean, if you look at the the vehicles we drive, they're the phones that we have. These phones right here, pretty much the camera they haven't been updated. Let me pause. Not pause. Let me catch my breath for a second, because I'm trying to explain something that's just like it's explainable, but it's kind of difficult. What we have now is nothing compared to what we could have. And it could be gotten, it could be made in so little time. And so I'm just like, because looking at the iPhone, the current iPhone, they're saying that, oh, nothing's really changed. Nothing's really changed. You change the camera up a few megapixels or whatever. Nothing's different. Imagine what, without patents and without these restrictions and this sense of control, what we're capable of. I'm still stuck on the fact that they're radiating waves down to the earth right now, and nobody has found a way to just receive the signal or whatever, and like not have to pay, not have to pay for it or whatever. But anyway, there's so much stuff, man. So much stuff. It's kind of hard to explain it. I thought about it before. But I'm like on the spot right now. And I can't get it out. But there is so much stuff. Anyway, what else? Let me pause. So my overall point, however, is that Donald Trump, he survived that assassination attempt for a reason, because pretty much when Pluto entered Aquarius, it's like all that old shit you think that all where what the Twin Tower situation, COVID-19, the assassinations and all this stuff, you think that's gonna fly, or you think you're gonna have these legacy companies and you're gonna control people forever. This is Aquarius. Things gonna change to the point where you're gonna be trying to hold on to something. Your arm will get broken. And so I'm like, the example was you trying to assassinate Donald Trump. How did it turn out for you? That you said it's a miracle. I see it as fate. You say it's luck. It's fate. You can't change fate. That's what I learned. You can't change it. And so I'm just looking at I'm looking at all this stuff. I'm like, whoa. When I saw it, because I didn't see all this astrology, I was focused on pretty much the Clintons. Basically, having the same astrology as the Monica Lewinsky scandal, and I'm still looking at Danny Williams Clinton. You want to check that out? DOJ or FBI or CIA, whoever's watching. Anyway, or probably not. Maybe I'm just crazy. Anyway, but point. Things are not going to stay the same in regards to just how the old structures were. Capricorn is done. When COVID-19 was released, that was the end of that. Transiting Pluto conjoined transiting Saturn in the sky, and so did transiting Jupiter conjoined that conjunction as well. I think it'll be better if you just see it, because we're having the same astrology as the Civil War. And I want to say those dates too. Let me see if I can find them real quick. Are they already here? Let me pause for a second. And okay, let me say this too. Again, after the 2026 elections or whatever, Donald Trump's going to be probably very, very, very pissed. And he's going to also be inside of survival mode. Just like he was during the bankruptcies. Just like he was during the racial discrimination lawsuit against him and his father's companies or whatever back in 1973. And also the same sense of survival mode as he was in during 2001. Whatever happened then. Also the same survival mode that he was in 2008 during the financial crisis or whatever. So the United States of America, we're gonna have our Uranus return on. Well, it starts on July 4th, 2026, and that's when transiting Mars will conjoin transiting Uranus inside the sky, and that could be a very, very, very crazy, violent event. July 4th, 2026, and I'm not gonna talk about that man inside this video. Well, I'll talk about him probably later on, but so that may be a very violent event, and it lasts until May 28th, 2029, using the 5-degree orb. But apparently, the United States will have its Uranus return on July 26th, 2027. That's the first time. November 5th, 2027. That's the second time. And May 11th, 2028. That's the third time. And see, like I said for Donald Trump, he's going to have a Uranus return as well too. And that's going to be on August 14th, 2029. November 2nd, 2029. And let's see here. May 27th, 2030. And so, see, transiting Uranus is going to conjoin all of the planets inside of Donald Trump's 10th house too. But I'm just going to give those dates for now. I'll probably give the other dates in another video. I'll give them all now because I'm like, why not? So, transiting Uranus will conjoin the planets inside Donald Trump's 10th house on August 14th, 2029. That's when transiting Uranus will conjoin Donald Trump's natal Uranus. November 2nd, 2029. That's when transiting Uranus will conjoin Donald Trump's natal Uranus. February 5th, 2030, transiting K2 will conjoin Donald Trump's natal Sun. On March 18th, 2030, Donald Trump will have a reverse nodal return. Let's see here. On May 11th, 2030, transiting K2 will conjoin Donald Trump's natal Uranus. On May 27th, 2030, transiting Uranus will conjoin Donald Trump's natal Uranus. On July 16th, 2030, transiting Uranus will conjoin Donald Trump's natal Rahu. On July 25th, 2030, transiting Uranus will conjoin Donald Trump's natal Rahu. On September 27th, 2030, I think transiting Uranus was stationed and turned retrograde at 22 degrees, 53 minutes. Oh my God, I can't talk right. However, on February 25th, 2031, transiting Uranus was stationed and turned direct at 18 degrees, 50 minutes. On May 5th, 2031, transiting Uranus will conjoin Donald Trump's natal Rahu. On June 12th, 2031, transiting Uranus will conjoin Donald Trump's natal Sun. Okay, you only have a reverse. The nodes will only conjoin one time. But let me see here. Okay, that's all written. Do I tell when it hits this moon? I do not. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so I missed one date, and this is when transiting K2 or transiting the transit nodes with Rahu conjoining Donald Trump's natal moon. It hits on March 9th, 2030. I didn't have it written down. Right? March 9th. No, I didn't have it written down. So I need to write it down when I get done. But so on March 9th, 2030, that's when transiting Rahu conjoin Donald Trump's natal moon, or the nodes will conjoin Donald Trump's natal moon. Anyway, my point. So this is going to be a very, 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 very contentious time for Donald Trump. Also need to add these other dates too. Because, like I said, Donald Trump's having a progressed lunar return. I don't know if I gave these dates yet or not, but I want to go ahead and give them because I just want to have it all inside of one video. So, Donald Trump's having, these are progressions now. On December 9th, 2026, for Donald Trump, his progressed moon will conjoin his natal Lilith. He may want revenge in regards to the results of the 2026 election. He may do this whole big Epstein situation reveal, and these people may still be like, but you're still Hitler or whatever. And so I'm like, okay. Like I said, Donald Trump's going to have to go into survival mode after the 2026 election. Just like he had to do again with the bankruptcies and the lawsuits and all this other stuff or whatever. Anyway, so on September 13th, 2027, for Donald Trump, his progressed moon will conjoin his progressed Lilith. On December 14th, 2027, and let me explain that. It's just like the first time the progression to Lilith. He may want revenge, or something may happen where he just has to get revenge. On December 14th, 2027, for Donald Trump, his progressed moon will conjoin his progressed nodes / K2, and it's just a fated event. On January 28th, 2028, his progressed moon will oppose his natal Uranus. It's a shocking event for Donald Trump. On January 25th, 2028, for Donald Trump, his progressed moon will conjoin his natal K2, and that means that it's a fated event for him. On May 9th, 2028, for Donald Trump, his progressed moon will conjoin his natal moon. It's a completion of something, a completion of a cycle. On May 20th, 2028, his progressed moon will oppose his progressed Uranus. It's a shocking event for Donald Trump. On July 1st, 2028, his progressed moon will oppose his natal sun. It's like an ego boost, but with all this other stuff that's going on right now inside of his chart, I don't know. So, yeah. And I've already went over what happened the last times that Donald Trump had a lunar return. And if I said again, the Trump managed company was sued by the civil rights movement on September 21st, 1973, and the lawsuit was settled without any admission of guilt. It happened again on January 9th, where a lunar return again. January 9th, 2001, and that's the result of the Al Gore election that led to the Twin Tower situation. And it's going to happen again on May 9th, 2028. And that's next. Anyway, let me pause and get some water, because I probably repeat myself like 30 times. But anyway. Oh, yeah, and again, Danny Williams Clinton. Checkmate. Pause. Oh, yeah, I need to say this as well. How do I know that the Democrats are not going to be happy about the results of the 2028 election? Again, I'm not saying that Donald Trump will be happy or not. I'm just saying that the Democrats will not be happy. Let's see. Looking at Gavin Newsom's chart and looking at the 2028 election. On August 22nd, 2028, his progressed moon will conjoin his progressed Saturn. That means that it's a conjunction. It is a very, very disappointing emotional block or loss. On November 15th, 2028, for Gavin Newsom, his progressed moon will conjoin his natal Saturn. Again, this is a conjunction, and so it's a very, very powerful sign that he will not be happy about the results of whatever goes on around this time. Also looking at Kamala Harris's chart, on November 19th, 2028, her progressed moon will conjoin her natal Uranus. She will be absolutely shocked about something, just like she was shocked about the results of the 2024 election. Also, looking at Kamala Harris's chart, on December 30th, 2028, her progressed moon will conjoin her progressed Uranus. She'll be shocked about something. Absolutely shocked, because this is a conjunction. It's a very, very powerful progression. Let's see here. Let me pause for a second. So I guess I'm gonna go over this last these last progressions and transits in regards to this current date right now. Today is December the 1st, 2025. So I said this Mercury retrograde. This Mercury retrograde was going to be the this Mercury retrograde was going to be the Mercury retrograde from hell, and so far it has been. So it's hit. Let me get to the other astrology. Let me get some water first. I'm tired. It's been like what, almost an hour. Let me pause. Okay, so let me try to do this way. I said that pretty much this Mercury retrograde was going to be the Mercury retrograde from hell. So why? Because transit Mercury, it's when it conjoined Mars, the internet went down, I think, throughout the United States or whatever, in regards to, I think, Amazon Web Services or whatever. And that happened on October 20th, 2025, and transit Mercury conjoined Mars that day. And I think around this time, I think Prince Andrew, he dropped his Duke of York title, but also Jennifer Dufresne, she released a book called Nobody's Girl. And so it seems like this is all tied up with this Epstein stuff or whatever. So transiting Mercury began to retrograde on and then let me go back to October 20th. Around this date, Bill Clinton, his progressed moon made an opposition to his progressed Neptune on October 20th, 2025. So anyway, transiting Mercury, it began to retrograde on November 9th, 2025. And I don't remember what happened around this date, but I do know that on November 12th, 2025, transiting Mercury, it conjoined transiting Mars in the sky. It was retrograde at the time. And that's when the government came back open, but I think the internet went back down again around this time as well. But also Bill Clinton, he had the same astrology as his impeachment. It happened on this day, on November 13th, 2025, where his progressed moon, it made a trine to his progressed ascendant. And the last time his progressed moon made an aspect to his natal ascendant was when the DOJ came out and said that Epstein did not have a client list, nor did he have he did commit suicide. Let me pause. The DOJ said that Epstein did not have a client list, and Epstein did in fact kill himself. And that same astrology happened all the way back when on January 26, 1998, when Bill Clinton said that he did not have a sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky. So the same astrology happened on November 13th, 2025, where oh my God. Hey boss, I'm tired. There's so much information. Okay. So there were two progressions that actually happened. So back in 1998, on January 26, 1998, Bill Clinton, his progressed moon made an opposition to his natal ascendant. And that's when he claimed that he did not have a sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky. This same progression happened on July the 5th, 2025, and that's when the DOJ came out and said that Epstein did in fact kill himself, and Epstein did not have a client list. Okay? So there's another progression that happened during the beginning of Bill Clinton's impeachment, and that happened on December 26th, 1998, but the impeachments happened on December 19th, 1998. And so this progression happened again where his progressed moon trined his progressed ascendant, and that happened on November 13th, 2025. Okay. I'm just tired. So let me pause. I got that straight. So let me pause and get some water. Okay, so retrograde Mercury stationed on November 29th, 2025. And around the same time, let's see, I think transiting Saturn, it also stationed and went direct as well. And lastly, I think around this date as well, Bill Clinton, his progressed moon, made an aspect to, let's see here. Let me pause for a second. Okay, and also around this time, I think that for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon made an opposition towards Venus. And I don't think anything came up around this day, except for the two National Guardsmen. They were killed. But besides that, Venus is a good planet so far. So, I mean, as far as I know. So, anyway, so moving on. Let me pause again. So, to the current date. Pretty much, again, today is December the 1st, 2025. So, on December 5th, 2025, for Ghislaine Maxwell, her progressed Pluto will trine her natal Mercury. That means that explosive news could come out about the Epstein situation. So, I haven't heard anything yet. I do know that Elon Musk, he has a progression of Saturn, I think today, on October the 1st. I mean, December the 1st, sorry. But I'm not really watching news right now. I also know that on December the 4th, 2025, he will have a progression to his son, and pretty much that means like it's an ego boost for him. So let's see here. The next big dates or big date is going to be for Bill Clinton on December 17th, 2025. His progressed moon will trine his natal Pluto, and that means that something similar to the Lewinsky sex scandal could come out on around December 17th, 2025. And see, around this time also, Barron Trump and Donald Trump, they have progressions to their sons or whatever. So that means that pretty much they should get like an ego boost around this time. Let's see what else. So the bigger date is going to be on December 26th, 2025. That's for Hillary Clinton. That's when her progressed moon will make a square to her natal Chiron. It means that she has a fated job to do. And the last time this happened was when the submission of the Star Report happened. And that was on September, I believe, 9th, 1998, when it led to the impeachment of Bill Clinton. Let's see here. However, for Donald Trump on January 14th, 2026, his progressed moon will make an aspect to his Saturn. And it's like a block or an emotional situation, a bad event. Also for Bill Clinton on January 17th, 2026, his progressed moon was sextile his progressed nose. It's a fated event for him, but the last time this happened was during the submission of the Star Report. Let's see here. And around the same date, on January 18th, 2026, transit Mercury will conjoin transit Mars in the sky. And the last time this happened, I told you the internet went down. Jennifer Dufresne, she released her book. Prince Andrew, who dropped his titles or whatever. And yeah, it was a big event. So that's transit Mercury conjoining transit Mars. I said it's going to be the Mercury retrograde from hell. Let's see here. On January 24th, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressed moon will trine his progressed Pluto. It could be like a sexual scandal or something like that. Also, I think around this time, Adam Schiff, he will have a progression to his Jupiter. And so that means that pretty much he gets lucky. I think Hunter Biden will have a progression around this time too as well. And I think it will be either a fated event or an ego boost, something like that. So for some reason, these Democrats, they get lucky. Let's see here. That's transiting Neptune, Uranus. Okay, the next date is for Bill Clinton. It's going to be on February 12th, 2026. That's when his progressed moon will quincunx his progressed sun. And it's an ego boost for him. Let's see here. On February 13th, 2026, transiting Saturn will enter the sign Aries. And see if days later, on February 17th, 2026, at 6:01 a.m., there will be a new moon eclipse. And this will be exactly opposite Donald Trump's ascendant. It could be that a prominent Democrat, they get assassinated, or it could be something else. Let me pause for a second. But maybe it might not be that, but still, like, something big goes down around February 2026 as well. This new moon is too close to Donald Trump's ascendant, or opposite his ascendant. So it's like something bad could happen to his opponent. And that's why I said they could probably use this as another distraction or whatever, because you know that, well, the Clintons have a body count. And some people would do anything to be successful. But however, as Pluto has left Capricorn, trying to get to the top by any means necessary, it's not going to work anymore. The results are going to be, anyway, I can't think of a word. Crazy, and shocking. It won't end inside of a dictator's favor at all. This is Aquarius, and yeah. Anyway, Oh, okay. And so also on February 20th, 2026, transiting Saturn will conjoin transiting Neptune inside of the sky, and these two planets have been dancing together for a very, very long time. So who knows? February might be a huge month. Let's see here. Let's keep on going. On February 23rd, 2026, for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon will oppose her natal Mars. And this is the same astrology that happened during the impeachment of Bill Clinton. Around the same time also for Hillary Clinton, her progressed moon will oppose her progressed Pluto. And that's on February 24th, 2026. Again, this is around the same time. This is the same astrology as the Bill Clinton impeachment. Let's see here. Also, on February 26, 2026, transit Mercury, it was stationed and go direct. So I told you it's going to be the Mercury retrograde from hell. Let's see here. So on March 10th, 2026, transit retrograde Jupiter stations and goes direct, I guess. Okay, for Hillary Clinton on March the 14th, 2026, her progressed moon will oppose her natal Pluto. And again, this is the same astrology as the Bill Clinton impeachment. I hope I don't have no. Okay. Okay, and yeah, it's a big day because on March 15, 2026, transiting Mercury will conjoin transiting Mars. And this could be, again, explosive information. Like I said, the last time this happened was the Virginia DeFray book release, the Prince Andrew dropping his titles, and the internet going down. And then also the government coming back open too. So, okay. So, and then on March 20th, 2026, transit Mercury stations and goes direct. And so let's see. Oh, and then transit Mercury is going to conjoin transit Mars again on April 20th, 2026. I said it's going to be Mercury retrograde from hell. And so, explosive information, Virginia DeFray, Prince Andrew, internet outage. And so finally not finally, but on April 26th, which is my birthday, transit Uranus will enter the sign Gemini. And this has led to civil wars inside the United States. So anyway, let's see here. So for Bill Clinton on May 4th, 2026, his progressed moon was sextile his natal nodes. And the last time this happened was 20 days before the 1998 impeachment hearings. Let's see here. So on May 16, 2026, for Bill Clinton, his progressed Venus will conjoin his progressed Mars. Okay, so Bill Clinton again on May 27, 2026, his progressed Mercury will sextile his natal Mars. Let's see here. On July 4th, 2026, that's when transit Mars will conjoin transit Uranus. And that could be probably a terrorist attack or some kind of civil conflict situation. I don't know. Let's see here. And I got finally written right here. On August 12th, 2026, there will be a solar eclipse inside of Leo. And this will affect Bill Clinton's chart and Donald Trump's chart because it will exactly conjoin. It will be exactly conjunct Bill Clinton's natal sun, but it will be exactly opposite Donald Trump's natal ascendant. So, yeah. Or no, it'll be conjuncted. It'll be conjunct Bill Clinton's natal sun, and it will be conjunct Donald Trump's ascendant. It's a new moon eclipse. And I said, sign astrologer, Ice Blue 333, the god of astrology. Oh yeah, and Danny Williams Clinton, checkmate. Let's see, is that where I want to stop at? I think that's going to be it for me. I think I've covered everything else. And I know this is boring, but oh yeah, and I'll just show this inside of the house. Let me pause for a second. But if not, the Tower card for the Clintons, and really the Judgment card for the United States. Let me pause for a second. I'm going to get those two tarot cards out, and then we're going to call it a day. Oh, yeah, and Donald Trump, if you ever watched this video, this very, very long-ass video, get Jennifer Boozer's shop, Cannabellum, back open, and look at my doggone $13 million request list or whatever. Yeah, right, it's not going to happen. Anyway, let me pause. But definitely get Jennifer Boozer's shop, Cannabellum, back open. That might help you out a little bit in regards to what's about to go down. Oh, yeah, another thing is that that prophet, I had to say this too. That prophet, I think his name was let me go in the house and get that too. But basically what he said was that there will be no World Cup in 2026. And that the rapture happened on September 23rd and 24th, 2025. And that was he made the prediction all the way back, I think, in June of 2025, and Charlie Kirk was killed on September the 10th, 2025, and Charlie Kirk's funeral was on September the 21st, 2025, and this is like the man, I think his name was Mr. Joshua, and he was on the Cent Twins channel, CENTTWINZ TV channel. He said that the rapture is going to happen on the 23rd or the 24th of September, and this is 3 days. That event was supposed to happen 3 days after Charlie Kirk's funeral. Anyway, And what I'm saying is that my prediction is not that there won't be a World Cup for 2026. I'm just saying that Donald Trump's not going to be happy about the results of the midterm elections, and he's going to have to go into survival mode. That's my prediction. Anyway, on pause, I'm going to go inside the house and get those tarot cards. Pause. Okay, so I got my tarot cards again, and so what I got for the Clintons is basically the Tower. Nothing is going back to the same. Nothing will be the same in regards to what the Clintons think they have ahead regarding their control and power. After Pluto left Capricorn, that was just that. However, that also means that it's judgment. Here's the blue bag. Judgment for the United States. They killed a preacher and celebrated it. What kind of godlessness is that? And so I'm thinking about Mr. Joshua and his prophecy in regards to just the rapture. And his prophecy basically was supposed to come to fruition on the 24th or the 23rd of September. And this is 3 or 4 days after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. What Charlie Kirk's funeral. And yet people called that funeral, the funeral of a preacher, a Nazi rally. Oh yeah, and if somebody hasn't seen my previous videos or whatever, I got tarot cards and a Bible, because a lot of weird stuff came up with those cards or whatever. As a matter of fact, just watch my video that I made on I think October 31st or November 1st or whatever, about my story about buying the tarot cards. Apparently, the $20 bill that I had got or whatever had some witchcraft symbols on it. I didn't write this on there. And yeah. So it led me to really the Bible. And it led me to Mr. Joshua's prophecy. And it led me to believing that Donald Trump could possibly be the freaking Antichrist, because of how there's a verse inside the Bible that says that the Antichrist is supposed to have like a blackened eye and a right eye, as a matter of fact, a blackened right eye and a withered right hand, and he'll be made into an image. And so the picture of Donald Trump almost been assassinated, and pretty much that whole situation, and pretty much so for a while I was like, oh my God, Donald Trump could be the Antichrist. Another man, he made a video about that quoting that scripture. His name is Robert Breaker 3. Let me see. Hopefully I can find his channel real quick on here. Let me pause for a second. So the man's name, his name is Robert Breaker 3, and he said this is how you can tell that a person could possibly be the Antichrist. And Robert Breaker 3, his name is YouTube account, and the name of the video is called Revelation 13 through 1 to 18, the Antichrist and the Mark of the Beast, I think. And the timestamp is 55 minutes and 56 seconds into the video, but it's up. I'll just say 55 minutes into the video. He gives a quote. He gives the scripture in regards to how you can tell that somebody's the Antichrist or whatever. He also has another video talking about another story that leads up to the rapture. I think it's Revelation 12. Let me pause a second. I want to get that video too. Okay, so his other video is called Revelation 12, 1 to 17, the Revelation 12 sign and more. And this goes over like pretty much the signs inside of the sky. I think there was a Revelation 12 sign inside of the sky. That happened, I believe, on 2017, and right before the Jesus Christ. Let me pause a second. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this live. So let's see here. So the first USA eclipse that happened, the eclipse that went across the United States, it happened on August 21st, 2017. And so apparently the sign of Revelation 12, it happened on, let me pause for a second. Back to the first eclipse that went across the United States, because there were two. And it made an X across the United States. So it happened on August 21st, 2017. And apparently it went through several cities called Salem. And I think, anyway, you have to look into that. So a month later, on September 23rd, 2017, there was a sign of Revelation inside of the sky. Sign of Revelation 12. And I think it reads, let me pause for a second. Okay, so it reads, and a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. She was pregnant and crying out in birth pains and agony of giving birth. Revelation 12, 1 through 2. And I think there's a third verse or whatever talking about there's like some kind of dragon trying to eat the child or whatever of the woman or whatever. And so apparently that sign happened inside of the sky on September 23rd, 2017. It was a sign of Revelation 12. Let's see here. And here, I got inside the notes right here. Maybe COVID-19 and that virus was the rapture or whatever. And then, I mean, this man, Robert Bricker, he was like, if you see a man with a darkened eye or a black a man who's blind, who has an eye patch or whatever, who has a withered hand or whatever, he said run. I'm like, so it made it to an image to it that Donald Trump. So I'm like, do I think Donald Trump is the Antichrist? To me, it doesn't matter, because looking at the people of the United States, they are praising the slaying of a preacher. So who is work? Well, if Donald Trump was the Antichrist, he'll be a sign of the times that we're in. He'll be a reflection of the people that we're dealing with here. Godless. So I don't even care. I'm like, I thank God that if it were true, he showed me that I need to recognize that Donald Trump's a sign, and these people are a sign. It's the time for me to get my damn Bible and read it. I bought some damn tarot cards and led me straight to the damn Bible. Go figure. Bought some damn tarot cards. Judgment. Judgment. And I saw this card. This is the only reason why I bought the tarot deck. I saw this tarot card with somebody flipping through them, and I saw this card, and I was like, wait, are those coffins at the bottom of this card? And so the coffin was floating out of the water, and it's exposing stuff, whatever, exposing all these secrets and whatever. So I'm like, that's what caused me to buy the tarot deck, and then kind of find out that when I went to buy the tarot deck or whatever, I ended up having a damn $20 bill with some witchcraft symbols. Can I pull this thing up? With some witchcraft symbols on it. With some witchcraft symbols on it. Oh, let me go back. I don't pull no naked stuff. Okay. Ain't nothing too bad on here, is it? Okay. I got some shit on my phone, okay? I got some shit on my phone. I ain't that innocent, but still. Anyway. So yeah, the story, just watch my previous video, not previous, but the video I made on either October 31st or November 1st or whatever. It was on Halloween. I made it on Halloween about my story about buying these tarot cards. I'm like, and then apparently the day after I bought the card sleeves for the tarot cards or whatever, apparently they cut down this Christmas tree inside of Nevada. It was cut down on October 24th after I found this witchcraft $20 bill in my pocket. I sound crazy. You have to go back and look at my previous videos. I won't move on. But anyway, the tree that was cut down, I saw this out of a dream, which led to me predicting the killing of the 2 National Guards people inside of Washington D.C. So I'm just like, talk about signs and stuff like that. I'm like, shit. I bet I'm on the FBI and the CIA watch list. Try to figure this shit out. That's my doggone notes. Try to make sense of this. Is he real? Is he real? Is he fake? Or is he just crazy? Anyway. So there's another eclipse that went across the United States. It happened on April 8th, 2024. And apparently this eclipse went through several towns called Nineveh. And that made me think of the story of Jonah, about this prophet who refused to give a message to the town of Nineveh because they killed a lot of his friends and family and loved ones or whatever. And so God, he got on his boat or whatever, and God made the man get swallowed by a fish, and he was like, go tell these people to repent. And he was like, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. Fuck him. And so he left Jonah inside that fish for 3 days and 3 nights. And apparently he was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. and yeah, so as soon as Jonah, they said Jonah, the sound of Jonah, right? Yeah, okay. Jonah preached the shortest sermon And I think in the Bible or whatever, it was like 5 words or less. He said, "Repent to God," or just he's gonna blow this bitch up or something. I don't know. And then he just walked off. And I think they said there was some signs inside the sky. As soon as he said it, the sky turned dark or something like that. And so so Jonah he didn't want to tell these people that because he knew that God had thought of all of His mercy and glory and wisdom and love. He was going to spare them because he knew that because they were repentant. And so Jonah, he was like, he wasn't going to tell these people to repent. He's like, fuck them, fuck them all, fuck them in hell. And so as soon as he told the people to repent, it's like they said even the cows started repenting. They started mooing, saying, well, I guess they was mooing and repenting. And so Jonah, he went under a tree and said, "God, just kill me, just kill me." And I think God in some way, form, or fashion said that if I'm supposed to forgive you for your sins, why should I forgive your enemies? And he was like, and they said inside the Bible that they didn't say what Jonah said back to God. Anyway, I probably sound crazy as hell right now. I'm tired. This has been a whole damn hour, so I'm tired. But anyway, my overall point was y'all bitches better get closer to God, because I'm like, I'm trying to see is that all the prophecies or whatever. Pretty much. Also, there was a prophecy from Tim Clement, Timclement, where he said that Donald Trump would go into office not believing in God, and he said he was going to leave believing in God, and that God would bring the prosperity back to the United States. And so is that everything? So I did say that the April 8th eclipse or whatever, 2024. And so so do I? Oh yeah, and there's another prophecy that they said that Saint Malachi, he was a prophet. He said that the 112th Pope will be the end of the world. And see, Pope Francis, who died, I think last year or whatever, I don't care anymore. He died, and an American Pope replaced him. Let me pull it up because I got the resources. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so apparently Pope Francis, he died on April 21st, 2025. I think J.D. Vance, he went to visit him, and I think his guest touched him, and then apparently they said he died after that. But anyway, that's reportedly and allegedly. And so he was replaced by an American Pope named Pope Leo the 14th, maybe? Or 14th. There was a prophecy that said that when the 112th Pope was died or whatever, it would be the end of the world. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay, so I found the screenshots of the dates where that Mr. Joshua, not the dates, but the name of the videos. So the name of the video was where Mr. Joshua, he said he was the last of God's prophets or whatever. He's the last arrow inside of his quiver. He said that the rapture was supposed to happen on September 23rd or 24th, 2025. And the name of the video is called "The Date for the Rapture Revealed, 23 through 24 September. The message received personally from Jesus, Mr. Joshua." This video was made on June the 17th, 2025. And this is before the assassination of Charlie Kirk, which happened on September 10th, 2025. Okay, Mr. Joshua, he made another video, and it's called, it was made on July 22nd, 2025, and it's called "It's the End Time: Rapture, Judgment, and the Antichrist. 7-Year Tribulation, My Heaven Visitation, Part 2. And Mr. Joshua made another video on September 26th, 2025. This is 2 days after after he claimed that there will be a rapture or whatever. And this is also 5 days after Charlie Kirk's funeral, which again, Charlie Kirk's funeral was on the day of an eclipse. And so the name of the video is called "Unexpected Response from Mr. Joshua on Rapture Failure. Rapture is still happening. Why I'm not sorry." Was it a failure? And the videos were posted on Cent Twins TV. It's CENTTWINZ TV. So, yeah. And so what had me up in arms was that all these celestial events that are happening inside the sky. There are aurora borealis going across the sky or whatever. there was an aurora borealis when I had that dream about the Christmas tree, and basically leading to the killing of the 2 National Guards people or whatever. The only reason why I didn't post too much about I mentioned it inside of my video that I made on November 11th, 2025. It was too cold inside of here for me to fully talk about it because it was freezing that day inside of Alabama. But I did briefly mention it inside of that video. I forgot the name of the video. I think I was talking about the suit of swords Tarot or whatever. And I was explaining that these people killed the preacher. And so what it leads to is just let me pause for a second. But what it leads to is that when you kill a preacher or whatever, it leads to this. It always leads back to this. Basically, you kill yourself. What made me do this card reading that day was that there was this astrologer. He said in response to the killing of Charlie Kirk is that you live by the sword, you die by the sword. But Charlie Kirk he lived and spoke by his word. He lived by his word. He didn't. I think the astrologer he said something that Charlie Kirk he was talking about gun rights and gun violence or whatever around the time of his killing. And so, yeah, but Charlie Kirk did not live by the sword. He lived by his word, his tongue. And so the only reason why he was killed was because let me see if I can find that card. Let me pause. Okay, let me try to do this though. But the only reason why Charlie Kirk got killed was because he hurt people's feelings. These are people that go up against him. When you debate Charlie Kirk, when you debate Charlie Kirk, you might as well go ahead and put up your points because Charlie Kirk wins. His let me pause because I can't think of the exact word. Charlie Kirk brought common sense to a debate. That's what he did. And so you might as well just pick up your stuff and just take it back on where you got it from. Because and anyway, some people might not get that. And then some people might get it and be like, you're wrong in regards to your use those cards. I consider the suit of wands air, and I consider the suit of swords fire. And that's a whole other discussion, but anyway. So back to my overall point though. Pretty much these people, to get a full breakdown of what I'm trying to say, you have to go back to my video that I made on November the 11th, 2020. I mean, not November. Oh my God, no, it was November 11th. I'm sorry. I think the video is called the suit of swords. Reading us like that. I'm sorry. I'm tired. It's been like 100. It's been like 1 hour and 18 minutes. Anyway, so the High Priestess, Charlie Kirk's natal son is associated with this card, the High Priestess. And see, it's funny. In the suit of swords, pretty much this same priestess is sitting here, and it's like there's a decision that has to be made in regards to her life or somebody's life right here. It's the same person. It's just this person is blindfolded, sitting on the same altar, and that watery background you can barely see it. It's hidden behind these statues, but there's water behind there. It's the same person. Same person. But this card comes from the suit of swords, and it's like somebody ends up killing this person, the High Priestess. And so, pretty much right now, I'll be almost like this, thinking about what you've done. But some people just don't even really care. But I'll be sitting here like this because I do know that what's coming is judgment. Judgment. Let me get my lore out real quick. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so I'm back. So This card is the only reason why I purchased these tarot cards. Because I saw these coffins right here. I'm like, what the world? These are coffins? What kind of situation is this? So I'm gonna read my lore. I posted this on October 29th, 2025. I say I recently purchased a tarot deck because I saw this card, 21 Judgment. And I know it says right here it says 20, right? But pretty much the Fool is listed as 0 in the major arcana, and this would be the 21st card in the deck. So that's why I say 21 Judgment. And 3, because when you add 2 and 1 together, you get the number 3. And 3 causes ups and downs and losses for a Scorpio. Thinking of Hillary Clinton, because the Gemini is 8 signs from Scorpio. So yeah. Okay, so it makes me think of the Clintons, the Democratic Party, and Donald Trump as the 7 notes, which is also loss of 8. And when I say 7 notes, I mean there's 7 lines right here, right under this trumpet right here, and you see Trump like trumpet. But okay, so I say as the 7 notes, loss of 8, are played by the angel via a trumpet, the hidden coffins and buried bodies / secrets float out of the scorpionic thawed icy waters, coming unearthed, opening and exposing, revealing everything to be seen and judged. The ending of winter and the beginning of spring, or a new season / era. P.S. I did say biblical. So that's Judgment. And I will end this right here. You killed the preacher. And what it's going to lead to is your own undoing. And that's my tarot reading for the fucking United States of America, or for the people who celebrated the slaying of a preacher, Charlie Kirk. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've said a lot of shit, did a lot of fucked up shit, and et cetera, et cetera. But you know I'm not going to piss off? God. Especially when he's showing me all this shit. Got the damn tarot. Man got the tarot cards inside of one hand, the damn Bible in another. Go figure. I never in my life thought that I would be like this. But no, my Jupiter Dasha had to looking at astrology, my Jupiter Dasha had to hit, and here I am. Got tarot cards in one hand, the damn Bible in another one. I'm just talking about Bible verses and doggone astrology and tarot stuff. I'm like, whoo. Anyway, hopefully that is it for me. You know, I want to add some more shit to this. I said I wasn't gonna do this joke anymore or whatever. I won't do it now because it's like, you know what? I don't really care. Let me close this. I did the little tarot reading or whatever. I do need to send the card. Let me pause for a second. I'm live. Well, let me try this again because it's been a while since I did this. So they said that the September 7th eclipse in 2025 was supposed to take out Donald Trump. And I was like, nah. Donald Trump had a lot more to do. And so I say, here's your eclipse right here. The JFK $50 and a quarter. I said it's not gonna take out Donald Trump. It's gonna piss him off. But it's not gonna take out Donald Trump, and apparently it took out Charlie Kirk. Another thing is that there's this article from the New Republic called The Presidential Penis, A Short History. So apparently they have the size of Bill Clinton quoted inside of an article. Yeah, the size. Let me pause for a second because I can't find my tape measure. Yeah, the size. So we try this. Yeah. So apparently inside this article, they say thanks to various sex scandals, we have detailed descriptions, meaning plural, of Bill Clinton's penis. According to Robert Bennett, Clinton's lawyer in the Paula Jones case, in terms of size, shape, direction, whatever devious mind wants to concoct. The president is a normal man. There are no blemishes. There are no moles. There are no growths. The Independent offered a more prosaic account. His erect penis is about 5 inches long, has the circumference of a quarter, and heads off at an angle, presumably rather like a finger bent at the joint. So there you go. If you want to see what Bill Clinton's working with, well, there you go. And so if you look at the quarters, they're all Salt River Bay quarters, and pretty much apparently, there's a story about this. There is a story about this quarter, and so pretty much anyway, what it boils down to is that the Salt River Bay, it deals with Christopher Columbus, and see Bill Clinton, he was subpoenaed to testify on October 14th, 2025, which apparently he didn't go to, but that day is one day after Christopher Columbus Day. But also October 14th, 2020, October 14th is Charlie Kirk's birthday, but it's also George Floyd's birthday as well. Not only that, so this Salt River Bay quarter or whatever, apparently, and I've been telling this joke for a very, very long time, but apparently November 13th is the day that Christopher Columbus landed in the Americas all the way back when. I don't know the exact date. But so I've been telling this joke in regards to November 13th, 2025, because I expected a huge event to happen in regards to Bill Clinton on his date. And what happened instead was that the government came back open. And so I was like, well, that's okay, but it doesn't have to do with Bill Clinton, but still. Anyway, so I think that I can end it here because that's a summation of pretty much everything I've been mostly everything I've been talking about for this past year. Anyway, so I'm just gonna get back to this card right here. Judgment. Yeah, I bet you need to get closer to God. And this comes from a person who's holding a tarot card. Judgment. But these tarot cards brought me right back to right about here. Because a lot of crazy shit happened, and I'm like, look, when it came to me thinking that Donald Trump was the Antichrist or whatever, I'm like, and maybe he is, but it's really he's just a reflection of what this nation has become, godless. So let me see here. Let me try to fill these 3 minutes in with something else. Oh, I do still have my quote left, so let me pause for a second. But my point about the quarter is that I found this quarter early on the side of the year when I could not find any other quarter around the house. I was broke. I didn't have anything. So I'm like, I found this quarter. And apparently I found this gunked up quarter under a car seat or whatever. And like, pretty much I thought this was just an ugly tree, but it lined up with the Bill Clinton prediction. And apparently the government came back open on November 13th, around November 13th or whatever, which is also the same day that Christopher Columbus came to the Americas. Let's see here. And also, I just want to flash this $20 bill that I ended up buying this tarot deck with. And I'm like, I can't make it up. You can I wish that I could just plan some shit like that. I'm smart. I'm smart. And I'm not saying that I couldn't think of no shit like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And so, Jesus Christ, this cards are not going back into place, and I'm just trying. I need to keep the card on top anyway. I'm trying to end it at 13 because 1-3. This is gonna probably like one of the last videos I make in regards. I'm burnt out in this astrology. I'm tired. Okay, I never wanted to be an astrologer. I tried to force Peter Nine, the creator of Astrology, to ban me. He wouldn't do it. He basically was like, no, keep doing what you're doing. So I'm gonna read my quote. Judgment. 1 year and 3 days after Donald Trump should have died by assassination, he came back, and on the third day, like Jesus, pissed in the faces of his enemies, called it rain, and then destroyed them. And then he lived happily ever after. The end. Biblical. Signed, Astrologer Ice Blue 333. The god of astrology. There you go. But it's just funny. I got a judgment right here too. This broken phone. All this stuff lined up. All this stuff. Even that Christmas tree. That apparently was harvested one day after I purchased the card sleeves. The card sleeves, I don't know if you can see it, for these tarot cards. And so I'm just up like, what the world? And then which led me to predict the slaying of the National Guardsman. So I'm gonna end this at, oh no, I can't wait 3 more minutes. I want to end this at 1-3-33. Y'all have a Merry Christmas and enjoy Bill Clinton. 5 quarters if you're not sure. See ya. Bye.